Hey guys, what is going on? So it was brought to my attention that Vigorous Steve, who is a Gorilla Mind athlete, made a video talking about grapefruit juice, and its ability to improve the bioavailability of certain compounds. Now, without getting into too much detail, you have naringin and naringinin, and naringinin is 10 to 15% of the naringin. So that is supposed to be what is in the grapefruit juice that I was taking that was supposed to help with the bioavailability of the turkesterone. So that was something I didn't know any of the details. He made a video. It's very cool. You should go check it out. But anyway, after further research, I was looking at, what had more or less naringin in it. And he talked about a supplement from Gorilla Mind, which has a good amount in it. So one thing that you have to consider if you are going to be taking turkesterone is the amount of milligrams that are in turkesterone relative to any type of drug, right? Whether that be an over-the-counter drug, or in this case, he's talking about orals. If you're taking any of those, the milligram dosage that you're using is much smaller than it is for turkesterone. So you would need more of this stuff. So the amount of naringin in grapefruit juice, I was looking at the numbers, and it ranges to a very significant degree depending on which brand. But even the highest dose brands, I think it was 7 to 70 milligrams per 100 milliliters, which is 3.4 ounces, I believe. So if I probably wasn't even having 3 ounces per time I was doing it. And that would only yield maximum 70 grams of naringin based on what I was looking at. So this, if you look at the Gorilla Mind supplement here, which is Camp PM, which is what he talks about in his video. You can also do the AM version, which is the stimulant version. These are fat burners, but they do have naringin in them. For 2 capsules, you get 300 milligrams as opposed to 70, and for 4 capsules, you get 600. So you're getting a much bigger dosage. So if you need, if this is 300, 10 to 15% is going to be 30 to 45 milligrams for just 2 capsules. So that is significantly higher than 70 times 10% would be like 7, right? So you're getting way more naringin in from something like this than you would if you were to just do grapefruit juice, which makes sense because if you looked at my last video, I basically said I didn't notice any beneficial thing from either doing the sublingual method or doing the grapefruit juice. So basically, unless I'm crunching the numbers wrong, grapefruit juice is not very beneficial. And even if it is, for the content of naringin in there, you are going to have to drink a lot of it, especially if you're taking your turkesterone dosages throughout the day. Because like I said, if you're taking, a 25 milligram dose of something else, turkesterone is 500 milligrams per capsule, and you're taking that 6 times a day. So while you could get away with taking maybe half a grapefruit or grapefruit juice, or like 1 or 2 of these capsules or whatever, that would not be the case for turkesterone if it were to be effective. So he actually did get asked this in the comments, and he said, this guy said, will it also be beneficial to use grapefruits to increase the oral bioavailability of ecdysteroids? And he says, Vigorous Steve says, Gorilla Mind's Camp PM, which is the thing that I am talking about, the non-stim version, plus turkesterone equals gains. So, I don't know if he's just trying to sell the product, but obviously that is a much higher dosage than, what you would get based on the numbers that I was looking at. So I went ahead and ordered a few bottles. This is not just because of the naringin in there, although that is a cherry on top. I also have been noticing, maybe it's because of the increase in grapefruit juice, but the amount of fat that I've been putting on is more than I would like. And it seems to be a direct correlation between me I'm not saying this purely because of the grapefruit juice, but I've been adding like more fat in a shorter period of time recently, even though I've been eating similar foods. And the only real thing that I've changed is the grapefruit juice. So I was probably putting on fat before. Adding the grapefruit juice probably didn't help. You know what I mean? So I'm going to eliminate that. I'm going to add this, and then you can actually buy naringin from bulk supplements. Now, I don't know how much I trust bulk supplements. I feel like I've tried some of their things. People used to talk about the plant that they had that was supposed to be like turkesterone, had like none of it in there. So it's pretty cheap. I ordered it. It's not even going to arrive for quite some time. Like, I couldn't find anywhere where I could get any Naringin in any form before like late January, early February. So I figured I'd want to get it as early as possible, and I'd want to get an effective dosage if I was going to do that. So I got it from bulk supplements. I don't know if that's going to be, beneficial, but I do think that if I take the PM Gorilla Mind fat burner, which I, probably should start losing some fat here anyway, or at least try and get closer to maintenance. If I use that, that should have a higher amount of Naringin in, and therefore could potentially benefit, the increased bioavailability that I'm hoping for. So I'm trying that. I understand that I'm kind of going all over the place, but I'm just doing experiments here, and I have enough of the turkesterone where I feel like I have the ability to do that. And all I'm trying to do is just figure out the things that work the best in terms of getting the best absorption, because I know you guys, a lot of you guys have like very small amounts, right? If you're getting 2 bottles or something like that, you're going to want the maximum bioavailability. And I'm not recommending that you go ahead and get Naringin in. I'm not saying that you should drink grapefruit juice. I'm just saying if these are avenues that you want to go down, I would much rather be the guinea pig, considering, the amount that I have, and it's a little bit easier for me to experiment a little bit, and I've kind of plateaued a bit here, and so I'm willing to try some new things. But basically, if you don't want to do any of this stuff, it does seem like taking the capsules throughout the day, increasing, the amount of benefit that you would get from doing that. That seems to be the most effective thus far. But if we find that Naringin is beneficial with turkesterone, could be groundbreaking, we will see. So anyway, that's all I got to say about that. I will keep you updated, and I'll talk to you soon.